going to do some body painting. Well, actually more like face painting. I'm not going to just body paint my whole body, but just my face. And so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go ahead and take my mask, which I have here, which I made in the class when I taught it at the Lewis Latimer house. My mask, which is durable, made of masking. What I'm going to use this mask to make a mask of my face, and I'm going to do that really quick. So go ahead and just set up all my stuff here, so that way I can actually see what's going on, and that way I have and I can be able to talk with you while I'm doing this here. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you the paints I'm going to be using. These are the paints. This one here is called Scribblers, Body Scribbler. Pretty cool. The other one I'm going to use is this one. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be for body paint, but pretty much it's safe for usage, and it's called pastel paints. It's watercolor creams, and so I find that actually works really well on my skin. And also I might use some of these glow in the dark ones too. So when I hit the lights, you can be able to see some of the cool effects of the lights and stuff like that too as well. So what I did was I actually angled the chair a little bit so that way it's not I'm not going to touch the back of the thing. But so what I'll do, I'll go ahead and start first with the way it looks. So this is what it looks like here, and I'm going to start with, let's see, I guess that's on the right side. That's going to be on this side of my face. It's going to be yellow. Then it's going to be the white, and then going to be the black, and then going to be the green, and going to be red. Be like the game. We call that the game. You go doo, 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 doo. Simon Says. Anyway, so let's see if that works. So in the meantime, I'm going to go set my other camera up too. That way I can look at both the cameras and have that working. So I'm going to start recording that too as well. Start recording. So that way I can do my time-lapse video of that as well. So this here is the mask, and as you can see, it's a mask. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and start the painting. So here we go. And let's see, let's shrink down the screen here and look online to see my live video being produced and context. And it's going here. I want to thank you all for being here. I remember last week I was working on the dragon, and so I have that. It's not finished yet, but for the most part, though, it will be, and it's a matter of being done. I can quickly show it to you if you want to see it before I start the whole painting process. Let me show it to you real quick. This is the dragon, what I was working on last week when we did the live last week, so I actually added more details to him. And I took him to the park, and I was able to show him off to some people, and so he's pretty cool. I gave him some eyeballs, but I got to finish up the mid-ridge of the paint job and see how that works out. Cool. That's going to be pretty much cool. I'll put that there. I may be able to work on that too if the time permits. Next thing too, we're going to do. I'm going to go and grab that paint too as well. So here I am back in. Okay, and this is the paint I use for the dragon. It's the FX paint. I'm not going to use it on my face, of course, but I'm going to go ahead and just going to have that set up so you can actually see. What I might do is that I'm going to go ahead and draw that, but just talk about this week. This week was a pretty cool week. I'll just work on the dragon real quick and I'll go to my face. So what happens is this week happened to be my anniversary week, and so my wife and I, we celebrated our 21st year. It's 21. It's 2-1 years married together, and pretty much it's pretty much really cool because and all that we had our children, we had all the cool events that happened with regard to their birth. I'll tell you about all the different things that happened with their birth at some time, but for the most part though, it was one of those things where as we're going through life, my wife and I had a nice celebration last night. We went over to play some pool, and my wife is a pool shark, so she destroyed me in pool, and we also saw the movie Across the Spider-Verse, which was really cool, which is really cool because when you look at that and you see how nifty it is, you begin to learn that, okay, they did a real good job with this movie. They captured the whole essence of the comic book and things that you just love, and I just totally, absolutely loved how it worked. I was just like totally just blown away by the awesomeness of how the art form and how the artwork worked in terms of like just the details of it. So for the most part, though, when I saw it, I was just I can't spoil it because we're gonna probably take the kids to go see it in a couple of days. So my kids are probably just listening, wanting to see what I'm gonna say about it. But I can't tell anything about it other than I really liked it, and I can't can't wait for can't wait to see it again actually. So because everything now is just you're not sure what you're gonna get when you go to Hollywood movies. You're not sure what you're gonna see. But for the most part, though, what you do end up seeing is something that you wish you're like, oh man, why did I have to put that in there or this or that? But this movie, when I watched it, there was nothing that I could see, nothing that I was aware of, at least that was in it, other than the fact that it was a cool movie, and I just totally just enjoyed the fact that it was so cool. Anyway, there's there's the I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff in the movie. This dragon happens to be a really cool dragon. I probably should have put the seal on it first before I decided to paint the wings. But I thought let me just give it a good paint job and see what you think about it. I'm gonna paint the nose, and then after that we're gonna go ahead and just gonna get to the part where we're working on more of the stuff. So let's see. I spent like the whole night last night after everything just kind of uploading my next video. It's gonna come up on Saturday. It's gonna happen on Saturday, and I am just like I am really excited about Saturday and Sunday. But I'm really excited about just being able to do this stuff, all the artwork, and just present things. I like that. I think it's a really cool thing to be able to make art, and I'm just hoping that be able to just with this one. Let's see with this one. I'm gonna look at this here real quick. I have to have the go to the live. All right, cool. So I can actually see when people actually post and stuff. So I have to open up my computer. So I'm actually recording it onto my computer while watching it on my computer while recording this on my phone while making this dragon before I start the whole painting thing. So I'm gonna have a ball with that. I enjoy body painting, by the way. If you look at my other videos, I have other videos that I do artwork and body painting with, and so I enjoyed the events. This year, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be the last body painting day in New York with my favorite artist for body painting, Andy Golub. And so what happens is that, I definitely got to be in that one. I just have to be. Because if it's the last one, it's the final finality. It's like, it's the end of the matter. It's kind of like the last movie in the series, So this is a good chance to be part of something that's actually pretty cool. And I definitely wanted to be in on that. Because, one of the things I think about life, how life is interesting, is that how, you're never quite sure exactly how it's going to play out. But here we are with this, and then so I'm just go ahead and just in the process of just kind of making this happen, and let's see how this turned out. So far, I'm doing everything over here with this, and make sure everything works, because if you don't have it working, then you're not accomplishing anything. So here's what we're doing. I just want to say that this is great. I just totally just love the fact that I can be part of this art and do some cool artwork. So I'm gonna do that, and then afterwards, the cool thing about when you do body paint and stuff, it's you get a chance to do something temporary, and especially with this one. So just to finish up the dragon, I've been meaning to do this for some time with this dragon. So you see him, how nice and cute he looks, but the green. This green is the best green in the world. It's called green dragon. It's called yeah, it's called green dragon. Let me see if it's right here. It's called green dragon, and it's FX paint, and it's lovely. It's a lovely type of paint because when you hit it with the ultraviolet lights, it just glows so ethereal. It's just just glows so nicely. So what I'm gonna do with that, I'm just gonna go ahead and just finish up just making the wings. I'm gonna start on my face and everything too. Just my face, to the point where it's like I don't want to damage the shirt, so I have to take off my shirt. You can see me when I work my shirt, and I just have to work on my face. That way, when I go take a shower later, I don't have any ink on my clothes. That's the one thing about these things, by the way. Don't get acrylic on your clothes. See right here. Don't get acrylic on your clothes. This is a really cool looking dragon. It's like kind of cute and stuff like that, but he's he's just long and deadly. But for the most part, though, what you want to do is that you want to make sure that when you do this stuff, do this artwork, you don't let it touch your clothes because it'll stain your clothes. And if it does have a drop on your clothes, don't move it. Okay, just let it dry. Because what happens is the worst thing is that you try to move it, and also the smears. Now you have two spots instead of one, and maybe you can fix it somehow without it coming out. I've never had to try to figure out how to fix it because the clothes that I get, my paint on and stuff like that, I'm always like, oh dag, I should have probably just left it alone, let it just sit there, because you could probably pick it up easier once it dries. Just let it sit there, and you can probably flake it off or all that. But anybody have any ideas how to get rid of acrylic on clothes? Be my guest. I'd love to hear it in the chat. If you want to say something in the chat, that'd be great. I got someone in the chat already. Okay, Hi, Amy. How are you? That's good to hear your voice. All right, cool. Thank you for being my number one supporter. And so that's pretty much pretty cool. My number one supporter. You know, I tell you, when you do cool art, and everything like that, you definitely need a supporter. And so Amy has been my number one supporter in my artwork. There are days, because what happens is life happens, but there are days when you're just glad. You're just glad to have people there with you. And so that's one thing for sure. So I love the fact that, Amy has been my supporter. Here's my green dragon. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and paint my face, but I'm going to just make sure this doesn't stain on any of the things too. But, I'm just keep painting for a little bit just to make sure I get all the parts. Because when you hit this thing with the black light, let me see if I can show you what it looks like when you hit it with the black light real quick. All right, I'll be right, just see it right there. Okay, I'm right. One second. All right, this is how it is here. I'm going to shut off the light for 1 second so you can see. When you hit it with the black light, see, if you can see this is really cool, right? This is the light never kind of shines really well. I guess because maybe, but it's what happens is you have just a cool effect. It's just, I don't know, it's just something beautiful about it. And the ultraviolet light, the black light, it just works out so nicely. Let me turn the light back on so you can see my face. Okay, so I put it there. All right, so here's that. All right, so there's that. Okay, so you have this in the tail, and this is the body. I'm just going to put this on the side real quick, and make sure he drives. So last week I worked on the dragon, and that was really fun to do. This week I'm going to go just to paint my face. So also my mask also is responsive to the light too as well. So when you hit it with light, it also shines and glows, and different parts of it kind of illuminate you, as you can see. Right there, you can see how it glows, how it illuminates. So there's spots on it you don't see until you hit the light hits it. And then so when you turn off the light again, and you hit it with the light, you can see that's right, when you hit it, you can see the different, or remnants of it, the cool spots and everything like that as well. Anyway, so what we're going to do is this. I'm going to go ahead and take the opportunity. I'm going to turn the light back on. And I'm going to paint my face. So it's going to match like this, okay? So let's do that real quick. I'm going to try it with the cream ones. This one here. This is called the cream pastels, and it's highly pigmented, non-toxic, and it's it just shines so nicely, especially on my skin. So let's see how that works out. I put some masking tape on this so it stays. So this is not going to be a long video, I don't think. I'm going to try and talk real quick about stuff, but for the most part, though, I just love this stuff. I enjoy body painting. I think it's such a cool art. And let's see. So let's start off with the yellow. Let's see right here. Start yellow on this side of my face. So it goes from about, let's see, that's about here. Right there. Okay, so right there's the yellow. This is nice. Make sure it works real quick. It's almost like a chalk. See, like this right here. There's a chalk. So. The yellow stands for gold. And the yellow stands for gold. So it's a gold. My home country, Dominica. The gold stands for the richness. They say the word gold appears 8 times. I was listening to a gentleman named Myron Golden, and he said about the word gold. It appears in the Bible 8 times in Genesis, and the first time it mentioned the person was Abraham. And so with Abraham, it says that he was rich. So, I have to look into it. I haven't looked into it myself. I'm just taking at face value what he just said. I hadn't really looked into it yet, because when you look at something, some people say things and you just have to kind of take it. And then you have 2 things you can do about life. You can either take what they say, don't take what they say, go learn them for yourself, or just don't believe it. Kind of how it works in life. Either you believe it or you don't believe it. That's kind of how it works. So here's the yellow. Yellow my face. Yellow my face. Okay, started there. Alright, so yellow on one side. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the white. The other side. check it real quick. Let's see. Mm-hmm. It says like that, like that. Gotta go up to my cheekbones. Yeah, I haven't shaved my beard off since like forever. I've had it for like ever. Last time I had it like really, really short, it was like I did this thing. I did this body paint event, and it was back in 2017. Is when I last time I shaved my hair on the top of my head. And so it was like one of those things where you're just like, you know what, I don't know. I just started letting my hair grow, and I just fell in love with the fact that how it looks. I just like think it's so cool, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see how long I can go with this thing. And so I've gone everywhere with this. Just kind of gone and enjoyed life with my hair this way, you know. So you have that, and then I find it like very, very cool. So one on that side is gonna be green, so I'm gonna put green on top. To my ears and back. We went to this really cool thing hip hop party yesterday, and it was like it was a party that he talked about the 50 years of hip hop and how it's like what it is and how the rap is one component of it. Another part is graffiti, and I was like, oh my goodness, graffiti! I totally just started to get into the whole graffiti thing because like I think graffiti is pretty nifty. You know, it's pretty cool. Like, who says nifty, right? I think it's pretty good. And so what happens, like this is green. And so what happens is like with the whole thing about graffiti, it's like I just love the way the art looks when it's right. You know, I don't like it when it's just like words, don't make any sense and stuff. I just think it's really cool. I think it's really cool when it's like you get a chance to actually make something, and that it's like a not a it's not a well on the wall it's permanent. I like temporary body art. I think that's really cool. I don't like permanent body art. I mean, like tattoos and stuff. I mean, you guys can do whatever you want with your body, with regarding your tattoo, but I just don't like the whole fact that it's just something that you just can't change. It's kind of a permanent decision. See, this when I get done with this, I could just go ahead and wash my face and then start again with a new look, And then some people say, "Oh my goodness, he gets to wash his face," but for the most part, though, it's like I look at that and I say to myself, I think it's pretty cool that you get a chance to start afresh, because if you don't, then you kind of stuck with permanent. You have to wake up every single day with that look. There's some people have permanent makeup they have, on their body, and what they do is that they get it like surgically installed. Their lipstick is forever red or whatever, and they have to wear it. It's like the makeup they have to wear. They just chose to do that, and I'm like, that's pretty crazy if you ask me, because like you just have a thing where you're not supposed to really put this by your eyes, so I'm just gonna keep it away from my eyes a lot, but I'm trying to get it into my eyes. hmm And so what happens is that when you have the thing um, regarding this one, alright, and then this one goes that way, and then this one goes right to the top right there. Uh-huh. hmm All right, so I got that. Got that. Okay, no red on this other side. Black down the center. Glad I'm not allergic to this stuff. Let me tell you. If I was allergic to this stuff, I'd be messed up. So, see, wouldn't it be crazy? Wouldn't it be crazy? Like, you start breaking on the hives and things. You're like, my face. And that's another thing too. I guess people gotta check on your skin. You gotta check it on your skin before you do anything, and just gotta make sure that it's okay before you start applying it and lather it on. That's what I think. Like people who do like the gold paint stuff, I think like that's crazy because when you have the gold paint, has the glitter. And at some point, I think the gold paint would be kind of cool to use and to work with. But for the most part, though, I don't know. It's just one of those things where you're just like, I'm not sure if it's a great idea because it's like you have this thing where have this thing. Smells nice. I have this thing where it's like glitter, and I just don't like glitter. I don't like glitter at all. I think glitter is such a weird thing because what it does, what glitter does, is that it totally gets like the microplastics in your skin. Hi. So it's been a rough day so far. But I mean, because I have all these plans I was trying to do, and it just kind of fell through. So I'm just kind of painting my face in effigy. Yep. Because what happened was like I initially was going to do something else, and then what ended up happening, it didn't quite work out like I hoped. So because it didn't work out like I hoped, I had to reorganize my plans. It's kind of like everybody else's, you know, when you think about it, how life works. That's how everybody works. You know, just kind of reorganize and figure out another plan. But yesterday I had a really good day. Just hanging out with my wife and just spending time together with her. And we did so many wonderful things, you know. We just like went out and just 21 years married. And so we did like so many cool things yesterday. We just, you know, we want to go fishing. We'd like to go fishing. And I've never done that yet, believe it or not. The only time of fishing I've ever done was like in a ministry. And Jesus said, I make you fishers of men. And that's kind of what we did in terms of these notifications come up and then they block my view. So you have the red. The red. Mm-hmm. Alright. Go back and get some more red right there. So you guys might have heard about the whole thing with the submarine. That was really sad to hear about. I was sad because the fact is the matter that, you know what, just the way they set up that play was terrible. You see, the thing is, like, you know, I from the moment I heard about it, I was like, oh, dude, they're already gone. Because it was like, the way it worked, it's like how it works with life is, if you have a submarine, which is the scariest thing in the world to have, you need to make sure that the submarine is safe. You need to make sure the submarine is safe. You can't be like riding in a submarine and doing any kind of thing that's not safe. You know, a submarine is like there's all kind of mechanical issues that happens, and that's a pretty dangerous. Like elevator, you know, riding in a bad elevator or something. You know, so I wrote on my Facebook about like how this is really crazy. How they decided to go into an elevator that's to the bottom of the sea to see a tomb at the bottom of the sea. hmm And the sad part about it is that they are what do you call it? They you know once you get down there, there's no coming back. It's like a one-way trip. They sent these people to their death if this is true. I think personally that it wasn't a I think it was a distraction element. That's what I think it was. I think all of it was designed to be distraction and designed to keep people from really focusing on what was the task at hand, which is what's going on in our government today. Now, you know, if you're like me, you believe that the Earth is not a globe. You believe, you know that what they did to us the last couple of years ago was actually kind of messed up because what happened was, you know, when you look at what they did, they tricked us. They all tricked us. And they worked in concert to trick us. a few group of people tricked us. And so that in of itself is not so cool. Because when you do that, that means that you betray the public trust. There was a movie called Flight with Denzel Washington in it. Now, I don't want to spoil a little movie for you. But one thing he said in the end of the movie is that I betrayed the people's trust. You know, the social trust. Because when you go into a plane, you're sitting there and you're hoping that the pilot is not drunk, right? The pilot is not drunk. You're hoping that the pilot is going to do his job well, and he's not going to be drunk. Because what happens if the pilot is drunk, that puts everybody's lives in jeopardy, and there's nothing you can do about it. So when these people went down to the bottom of the ocean, right? They went down to the bottom of the sea. They went there to go see the Titanic, or so we are told. And what happens is like they were given this opportunity to really see something not too many people get a chance to see. It's kind of like a bragging rights, right? Unfortunately, they went in a way that most people wouldn't allow themselves to go. And that's the sad part because the sad part is that when you really think about it and how it all works out, one thing I found is that people are just, it's sad that they were willing to do that. I just feel sad that if it's true, but if it's not true, then this was like a distraction, which I really think it was. Or, it was a sanction hit to get one person. And if it was that, then it's like, it's terrible. But if it was not a sanction hit, then it was something really terrible in terms of like the fact that they used something that they shouldn't have to mess people up. And not only that, distract us yet again. Distract us yet again. So, okay, let it work on highlighting more of the black. So what we got here, we have this. It's almost there. It's almost there. There's a couple more things that need to be done, so let's go ahead and do that too. I'm just going to re-emphasize the black some more. The cool thing about body paint, by the way, is that it actually works like a sunscreen. It works like clothes. Because what happens is that when you have the scenario there, you have all this situation. What happens is that your body. Let's see, that's up close for that one. Let me do some cool highlights and stuff like that. Just now I have to make the black lines on my eyebrows, and then the green lines, black line and the green. So right where the eyebrows meet. So right here, I have two lines because like on this one here, you see how this is, right? I got two lines here. One, two. And this one. One, two. Let me check the mirror. Let me check the mirror real quick. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, so what else I got? Got the lines and the green. Green's by the ears. It's green across the top into the ears. Go ahead and just do that real quick. It was a time where I was afraid to do all this. It really was. Afraid of the whole thing of my body and ink and paint. afraid. And this here has got to be like one of the most coolest things you can actually do. And again, I recommend this for everybody to do this because it's one of those things where you get a chance to actually add a temporary art to your face, and then after that, you get a chance to just wash it off and start again. Let's say for example you made a mistake. Let's for example you were to tattoo this onto your body, right? And you made a mistake. It's like, oh, dude, you have nobody left to fix that mistake. That's why it's like, when I respect to those who do tattoo art, mad respect to them. But for the most part, those who I prefer temporary body paint art because that comes off and you can always start again. And it's like the colors represent all of them. I just kind of go through all the details of the colors. I did a video before about all the colors, what they represent. So you see, life is not just black and white, right? It's not sometimes. Well, actually, a lot of life is black and white. When it comes to what's right and what's good, it's kind of clear cut. It's common sense. But when you have like certain things, like in terms of like the history of things, history for sure has been tainted. We have a messed up history. Our history that we have received has been given to us by the victors, and it's been told, you can actually make up any history you like, and somebody can find facts to back it up. Just like people use the scripture to defend stuff and do stuff too, and not really supposed to. You're supposed to read the Bible in context, So when you read the scripture, you're supposed to read it in context and supposed to be able to understand what it says. And so what happens is with history, it's not being black and white. You have these things where, for example, the colors. Now the red stands for the struggle. The red on the top stands for the struggle, but also the red stands for my home country, Dominica. The black stands for the black people, and the green stands for growth. And they always talk about, when you look at these stories, all these stories are always talking constantly about the struggle. You watch the video, you watch the movie. One thing I liked about when I watched the Into the Spider-Verse, or even the, some movies there, different movies, they talk about how, always talk about the struggle of the people and what they have to go through. But for the most part, the one thing I found was really cool was that, that you can actually learn from something just like as simple as this mask. You have the people. The green stands for the growth of the island, Dominica, but green also stands for growth of the people and the Kwanzaa mask. So the Kwanzaa, what I did was when I did the Kwanzaa, I had to make the spikes, the 7 spikes, and the 7 different things of the spikes regarding that. So what happens is that what I'm sharing here with this is just pretty much you have the 7 different that's spikes, but it's 7 candles. And the 7 candles, what it means is that you have the different ones. Let's see if I can remember it. It goes like this. Really, remember the last one is Imani, right? The last one is Imani, which starts for faith. The first one. Let's go back to the first one. First one is called the unity candle. This one here is unity, and that's when it starts off. This candle is one that lights the next one, which is the self-determination. It's the Kajulia. Then you have the next one is go to this side, and you have Ujima. Then it goes back Imoja, Chakalia. You got the Uchima, Ujama. Then you have Kumba, and then you have the last one is the Imani. And so I might have done it in the wrong order because I'm just looking at it from a different angle. I think it's how the order goes out, into the last one. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much. It's 7 altogether, and the 7 what it all mean is that it talks about self-determination, about black people finding themselves, and it was all initially designed by a guy Karenga, and what he did was that he designed the whole thing to, well, they were selling it before, but he designed it. He made it into the Kwanzaa holiday after Christmas, 26th to the 1st of January, to celebrate, the spirit of black people in terms of like not being able to be crushed, and so it's really what it is. It's kind of like a stand thing to where people are going to try their best to be better, But what I did a story about that in my thing, so regarding how there is a when you look at the story of what it says that as a Christian, me as a Christian, what I believe in my self-determination and everything comes from the Lord, and knowing that the Lord is the one who gives me strength. As a matter of fact, whenever I sign any of my artwork, I always sign Psalm 121, which says, "I look to the hills, for whence come my help? My help is from the name of the Lord, the Creator of heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to be moved. The God who keeps Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. He preserve you going in and coming out. The Lord He will protect you." So what happens is like the green and growing, but also the name of my daughter Chloe, green and growing. We have the different colors here representing in Dominica. The yellow stands for the gold, the black stands for the black people, the white stands for the white people, and then pretty much the green stands for the growth. And together, all this together is a unity. It's a unity of people and growth together. So when you have that, it's like you have the situation where people are growing together to become more and become better, because one island has many different pieces that come from it. Also they say that sometimes the gold represents not just the gold of the riches, but also represents the indigenous people who live there. Indigenous people of the Kalinago people. They were once called Arawaks and the Carib Indian, but now they call the Kalinago people. And what happens is that they are the people who live there in Dominica, and see all this together makes one thing. Like you always talk about, like we don't come from just one thing. We come from a family. All of us come from a family, and the family, like I was talking before, says you are half your mom and dad, and you're a quarter of your grandparents, and you're an eighth of your great grandparents, and so it goes on to eventually realize that we're all pretty much related. We're all related through Adam and Eve. But the bottom line is that when you look at the situation, how life works, it's like life works out much differently than how we think it's going to work out, because we're constantly seeing that, we're thinking that it's going to be like, this and this and that, but we're actually a mixture. So when the people go through a struggle and they go through struggles, one of the things that they see in terms of the struggle is that we can rise to struggle together. So this mask that I'm wearing, it's not the mask I painted on my face. It's kind of similar in that what, it's like it's not just an image, but it's also a symbol that we can grow. We can do a lot of things together. And yes, there's a struggle, and struggle is what makes the story better. Unfortunately, not too many people survive the struggle, but when people who do survive the struggle have a story to tell. So just wanted to say that it's like the whole face has changed. I look at my face, I can't even recognize my own face, but I'm looking at this here. So I didn't want to spend too long here. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and pretty much I'm gonna go ahead and just get a couple pictures with these and put on my Instagram, and then be able to like show people what's up. So just want to say thank you so much for watching, and thanks for liking and watching my video. So God bless you. I'll probably do another one again on Friday, and probably another one again on Monday, or coming soon for more stuff. So please like and subscribe, and for the families of those who are in the thing, please pray for them. Whether or not it was true or not, just pray for the truth to be known about this whole thing with the sub. And also just keep in prayer for your family and friends regarding what society's been doing. So just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I can't believe I look so different to what I see in my mind. So it's kind of like I'm not recognizing my own face. It's pretty cool. So this is there. All right, so there you have it. All right, thank you so much. Have a good day. God bless you. All right, bye.